Let's talk a little bit about Number of the Stars, or what actually inspired that.
Well, Number of the Stars, as you know if you've read the afterword of the book, was sort of inspired by my friend Annalisa Platt, whose maiden name was, I think, Annalisa Henriksen, who grew up in Denmark while I was growing up in Pennsylvania during World War II. Our childhoods were so similar in many ways and so different in others. I was affected by the war because my father was in the Pacific during the war, and I knew that my mother worried, but the war was very distant from me. And when I met Annalisa as an adult, and she talked about her childhood, where Nazis were on the street corners in the town where she lived, I realized how different it was. And when she told me what had happened in Denmark, I realized that that was a story to be told for kids. I think I probably had heard about it in a history class, but I hadn't remembered it because it had been taught as part of a history course. And it was therefore, forgive me, boring. And I knew if it were told as a story, it had all the elements of a wonderful story. The suspense, the danger, and at the same time, the enormous courage and integrity. And so I created the little girls in the book. They're fictional characters, but I set them down on a street where Annalisa had lived, in the city where she had grown up. And at the time, October 1943, those 2 weeks in which those events happened in Denmark. I'm so gratified that it's been such a successful book, not for my own sake, but because it means that everywhere, and I mean all over the world because it's translated into a lot of different languages, everywhere kids are learning about integrity and about the kind of courage that they showed in Denmark and the lack of discrimination that they always had in Denmark.